So I joined the military when I was 18 years old. And during my time in, I participated in a number of different training exercises where we did bombing runs or we tested different munitions or different weapon systems. They were places set aside by the military for us to test these weapon systems. And when you're in, you really don't think about what happens to the munitions that don't go off, what happens to those unexploded shells or those rounds that just don't explode the way they're supposed to. And so you really don't think about it, at the time. But then years later, when some of these military bases are closing, when some of these bombing ranges are closing, and they're being turned over to the public for public use, you start to think, hey, wait a minute, what about all of that unexpended ordnance? What is going to happen to that stuff? Is it going to be cleaned up? Is somebody going to get in there and take care of it? I don't want my legacy as a former military person to be one in which innocent folks are harmed because of some training exercise I was on 20 or 30 years ago. It's vital that our community leaders spend the time and the money remediating any of these former military facilities. They need to bring in experts who can clean up safely all of this unexploded ordnance and make sure that everything is good for the public to be around. They also need to establish training for the general public so they can be made aware of what to do when they find unexploded ordnances. USA Environmental are experts who can go in and into these old military facilities and clean up all this unexpended ordnances, this munitions, and make it safe for the general public to be around. The last thing you want is for your child to be playing in the backyard or at the beach or at the park and for them to find some unexploded ordnance. I want to make sure that my son is safe and that he can have a good time and play at the beach and not have to worry about stumbling across some old dud of a grenade or some old bomb. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we're secure in the knowledge that our families are safe, even on lands that used to be military installations.